He does. I go. What's your language? Come on.
You just
Yeah, you
start
say that to me, and then Linda goes, "Don't talk to Aaron that way, Scott."
Hey, let's stop this family dispute. But we get Aaron back for 1 second, and Aaron and Scott are already having.
I was talking to Dean. Actually, Aaron just happened to be involved.
Yeah.
That's
basically, that's kind of why Erin's here. Her character might not show up today, but we just kind of wanted her to be involved. Hey, welcome to Jarviskjir, A Mother's Love. Episode 3. It feels like episode 4. I don't know if that's just me. I know we took a week off, but it feels like there's more between us right now. A more intimate show than a simple 3-parter.
I just realized we don't have Big Mouth Neil.
We have Big Mouth.
We have Big Mouth Scott.
I know.
Hey, Big Mouth.
Oh, this is great. Oh,
It's a very different show when either you or Neil aren't here, and we were just talking before the show about how good it would be if both of you weren't here. It would be it would just be a whole episode of like your party goes to a library. And like
we do something useful. We don't get sidetracked.
Yeah, I don't mind the sidetracking. It's the kind of sidetracking. Anyway, brief catch up. The party has made their way to Northern from Goldport, and are seeking to go over the mountain to the city of magic, Bastillion. Now, of course, they're seeking to go over a mountain. It is winter. It is the dead of winter. And that's just a terrible idea. And these guys have actually climbed, aside from Haven, have actually climbed this mountain before. But not all the way to the top, and not done what they're trying to do this time, which is sort of go up and then around, which is a different sort of beastie. So really, the last session ended with you guys really planning for your I was gonna say mountain heist, but mountain climb. I just like the word heist, I guess. It's a good word.
Let's go steal the mountain.
Go steal the mountain. Let's wait until you're at least level 10 for that, okay?
That's funny on the sleight of hand check.
Keep it in your bag of holding. Yeah, really, we ended last session with you guys prepping to climb the mountain to head over it. And that's where we continue today. If you guys, in the week of real time in meat space, realize that you need to, and realize of anything you forgot, anything that is worth pointing out, anything you want to do in this city real quick before you go up the climb.
Probably buy a tinderbox, because I forgot to buy that last time.
Oh,
just
yeah, that's literally,
case.
that's just the price in the book. Did you have one already?
No.
Oh, you must have started with like the Scholars Pack or something.
Yes, I think that's what I had.
Yeah, that's literally just the price in the book. In a big city like Northern, just
entertainers. Sorry, entertainers. Yeah.
I think
I would just point out, you can buy that if you want, but I can instantly light or snuff out a candle torch.
We don't know if we'll get separated, and old Gilwyn will freeze his nips off. We don't.
Well,
did we surely discussed like buying a climb kit or something?
You discussed buying a lot of things.
I was just thinking, surely we should probably buy a climber's kit.
Did Scott buy a climber's kit?
I can't remember. I feel like it's something we probably.
I feel like Scott bought a climber's kit.
Yeah,
but if you want to buy another set, they're not ridiculously expensive for you guys as accomplished adventurers.
I also got 2 sets of winter gear. I also have an explorer's pack, which probably has some basic climbing. Actually, it says climbing gear and climber's kit in my.
I think the explorer's pack has some of that stuff, but not all of it.
Scott's beard is so thick. Look at the lighting on that.
It is a little Renaissance right now.
Looks like the bottom of an old wall. Just moss.
Do you want a close up?
No! I don't want to get mad. The funniest thing is my internet's being spotty right now, so you guys are moving in a little slow-mo, so it's like a freaking Slender Man monster coming up to the mic.
No, I'll take the compliment. I've been working out lately. No, I haven't.
It is 25 gold for a climber's kit. To you guys as big adventurers, that's not much.
I have one. Fine. I have one.
I'll get one as well.
It's one of those things where
I also spent extra to have a silk rope.
You did.
Yeah, that's true.
The climber's kit only includes one harness, which is the thing. Like, if you use the climber's kit to set up an anchor point or something, yeah, everyone can use that. But harnessing separately, you can only really do it one at a time.
So just buy a harness.
Yeah, but like, you might as well buy the whole kit. That's exactly what the conversation probably is, like, but I might as well buy the whole kit. You know,
I
discount.
already have extra rope. Like, I got a climber's kit, and there's silk rope in it, but I also have 50 feet of hemp rope too.
What?
So since we already have so much, you probably have rope in that pack right there. We just need the one kit.
Melody has rope too.
I hand the merchant the desired gold. Just walk past Taven.
Gives you the bag of stuff. Bag of pitons. Great.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Huh, that's true.
Anything else you guys want to purchase or do in the city? You know, there's...
I'm too poor for all of that.
Gil has
No,
a
I think that's it for me. Do you want anything, Melody?
No.
Okay.
You're fairly simple people. You're fairly simple people.
How dare you?
I don't even think you're gonna stay a night in the city. You're just gonna, like, you came here in the sort of afternoonish. You actually would be before noon, if I remember correctly. And whatever I said last time, forget it.
So we're going up the mountain, and usually a safe way in the mountain is through caves, because, you know, wind and stuff. So I know I can see in the dark, and gesturing towards Vale, he can see in the dark. I think you can too.
Brilliant.
Gesturing to Melody.
Melody can make herself see in the dark.
But you struggle.
No, I think she'll be okay. I've got a fairly rudimentary spell that I can just stick onto this thing, and I'll rattle the goblin ear in the vial.
See,
Goblin nipple, sorry, not
the
ear.
thing about that is, when you cast that spell, is what you said, right? It makes this big area of light, right? And that means you can see in front of you, and people can see you from behind.
Yes.
So you might want to get one of those metal boxes that you put the light in, and it makes it just go in front, so people can't see you from behind.
Well, it's on my front anyway.
I don't think you understand the way that magic works.
Wait, out of this is Dean now.
Yeah.
My body doesn't block the magic light, but a little like metal box does.
Yeah, bullseye lantern, man. It turns into a 45-degree angle facing forward.
It's one of those things
later.
where your body does actually block the magical light, but just not for the purposes of, like, combat.
It's still on walls next to you.
Yeah,
and stuff like
you would be
that,
casting a shadow. He's just saying buy a lantern so you can aim it, but like...
That way nobody can see you from behind or the side. And if they're in front, you blind them. Ha!
Okay, so I go to a blacksmith and ask him to create a really simple 3-sided thingamabob to slot my vial into.
Oh, that's a special... what you got in that vial?
Do you show him the vial of, like, the goblin symbol?
He's trying to look.
I'll just show him one of the vials without it in. He doesn't need to know what it's for. I'm paying the man.
Yeah, the funny
Can
thing
you just
is...
cast light on the vial?
Can't he
Yes! Yes, he can! It's one of those things where actually... Actually, it's one of those things you ask it, and it's like, actually, I think I have something that might just do the trick, and reshapes a very small metal sort of thing to work as the sort of mini tiny lantern as you want, and that's going to cost like 5 silver because he already had similar stuff.
Because I think a bullseye lantern has a further range of sight.
Oh yeah, but it's not going to count as an actual bullseye lantern.
Gotcha. That sucks.
Yeah. If you wanted to buy a bullseye lantern,
60-foot comb, which is beautiful.
Yeah, bullseye lanterns are really cool.
Yeah.
But he ain't got that. He got a nipple, a nipple in a jar.
Listen, that's his problem. I just gave some advice.
Yeah, you don't even need it. You can see in the dark.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Anything else that you suddenly thought that you might need?
Nope. Don't think so. I'm good.
Good stuff. So you immediately after picking up things through as you're traveling through Northden, you're buying more things like, oh, well, we should pick this up, we should pick this up. You get more cloaks, you get your winter gear and stuff, and then you head to the northern side of the city and start heading up towards the mountain. Now, as I have hinted at, it is the middle of winter. It is the most wintry, coldest winter ever. Not ever, but it's a really freaking cold time of year. So actually going to climb the mountain is going to be just getting there is not trouble. You don't have to roll or anything, but you're having to trudge through snow, and these paths are not so much tracked. In fact, the last time you guys went up this mountain, there was a little sort of pathway that head up near the town. Not a very well-traveled path, but, you know, people clearly went up and down every now and again for whatever reason. You just can't see that. You know where it is. You can see the little standing stones that they've used to mark the path, even when it's really snowy. But the actual path is just below so much snow and ice that isn't something you can travel by, which is pretty sad. But then you basically start trekking up the mountain. It's a that's an important thing to point out, Mr. Scott.
Gotcha.
Natural explorer. Which means the difficult terrain of traveling through the snow, you actually have a much easier time with, even though you may have never actually dealt with snow before of this magnitude in your life. Haven knows rocks. Haven knows rocks intimately, and can basically point out the best ways to travel. And even the way you guys went the first time, and that's sort of the route Gilwyn is sort of plodding along at, because like, well, we went this way before. Haven's like immediately like, no. We go this way. He knows how to climb, and from where he's from, actually the logic of the climbing is mostly the same, although the wind and the snow is a whole other factor. But he can easily account for snow is slippery. Okay, keep that in mind, right? That's pretty easy to do. So you start your way tracking. Go ahead and give me either Haven or Melody a survival roll. One of you can help the other. It depends on which one you want to be.
I feel like I should assist her. Some metagamey part of me feels like she's better.
Yeah.
That's fine by me.
Don't say that. I am now going to roll double ones.
Yeah, you forget that it's Ian. Okay, that's pretty amazingly good.
Damn.
So a 27. Great. You start trekking up. You start climbing. This is a moment there where, because of the dice on the screen, Ian looked adoringly at his own 19 rolled there, and I appreciate it. You start trekking up, and Melody, again, Melody's been here before, and Melody has that photographic memory. So she actually is like, oh, okay, I can remember this very importantly, and Haven's kind of like, no, this would be bad, this would be safer, and then Melody knows quite a lot about snow because she actually has been living in quite a cold area for most of her life, the same sort of place as Northern, where it's cold, but it's not snowing all the time. So you absolutely start leading each other up the mountain, and you know, you camp out the first day, and it's no trouble. You find somewhere safe from the snow and the rain and the wind, and you camp out and you set up, and you're like, okay, maybe this won't be so bad. Says...
The fact that he said that is a little upsetting.
What? I don't know what you mean. And then you keep tracking for the next day, and this roll is so good, it lasts for quite a long time. You know, your Melody is leading with Tune, who is pushing their way through the snow. Melody actually having enough through a mixture of druid magic and fire magic to like melt snow and push it out of the way and cause the paths that
With
would
that
be
metal staff helping. And
the fire staff absolutely helps a ton.
You can just walk on it, right? Like if you just like walk like this. See, it works. No.
Mercy watches him and then just goes back to melting the snow in front of her.
No, it doesn't even slow you down. No, look.
Haven. There's a whisper of unpleasantries to Gilwyn from Vale, who is trailing behind. But he the wind is really bad as you're traveling higher. You're traveling up a very open area of the mountain, if that makes sense. And the way the wind it moves over the mountain in such a way that it comes streaming down almost like a river of wind. And that's really like, okay, you're dealing with the snow. You're wearing a ton of winter cloaks. Haven has literally bought like 2 winter cloaks and is just wearing them on top of each other, which actually is like a fine strategy, but I like to make fun of him. But it's the wind that's really catching you, and when it catches at your face and through the cloak, it billows through the cloak and the inside. It's a very unpleasant feeling. And you spend most of the day tracking up tracking through snow. You're melting your way through it enough that you're not going as slowly. And the way I'm describing it makes it sound like you're going slowly. But remember, with Melody and Haven, you're not. You're making a brilliant pace. Now, maybe Gilwyn and Vale don't appreciate that so much, being just sort of regular people in this moment. Like, you're still trudging through snow. Even when Melody clears it, there's still snow and ice. It's still unpleasant. It's still not nice. You're climbing a fucking mountain. Why doesn't everyone give me a perception check real quick?
Okay.
And I'll do one for Vale. Why not?
Because he's not here.
But I'm feeling generous.
Soundly rolls perception.
Damn it!
So you fixed that last time.
I always change it, and I always like changes back on me.
Probably because you have like another thing open.
Oh, probably because I change it here and not in there. Oh, well.
Took a while. It is Haven and Vale who notice that the wind. You hear this. The wind is making an awful noise. It should be really quite quiet up here, but the wind is making this horrible racket, and then there's the way your cloaks move in the wind, and they're all this sort of treated material that go like. That's my cloak noise. But the wind is roaring. It's loud and it's not unbearable, but it's just this loud, obnoxious noise. And it's Haven and Vale. Haven and Vale. I can't words today. I'm gonna blame the trees. Who realize it's not the wind roaring. No, the wind is roaring in a poetic sense. There is a sound being carried through the wind. And it's Haven can't quite place it, but you two realize at the same time, and you're like, "Is that?" And Vale just goes, "Yetis, 2 of them," and he can hear. And when he says that, you can quite clearly hear it as well, Haven. Gilwyn kinda, Melody is kind of too focused on her own thing. Gilwyn, you're like, "That does sound like a Yeti." Oh shit! Haven's like, "I hear 2 roars." But you've never encountered a Yeti before.
There's 2 Yetis, and this is a wonderful thing. Gil, your friend, you should have matching clothes. Let's go get it.
I for one think that we shouldn't fight the Yetis. I mean, I can't feel my ears. Sorry,
Wait,
Neil.
If we can avoid them, I'd prefer that. I'm not gonna lie, I appreciate the fact that you just want to barrel into these 2 Yetis, but I think we should maybe avoid them.
Yeti's strong.
Yeah, strong. It's a good fight. It's worth it. I mean, listen, if we're avoiding, how about this? If we can choose our battleground, do you want to engage? I said engage.
No, I don't.
I think they came from that way. We should probably go that way.
Okay. Yeah, I
Haven,
we should.
give me a survival roll or nature roll to figure out which way they actually are coming from.
Oh, I was going with survival.
Yeah, I think survival's better for you, but I thought I'd or
Nature's a smarts roll.
Oh no.
I ain't got no smarts.
Yeah, you're fairly sure they're actually coming from sort of the way you came. So.
They might be tracking us.
Do you... Are you any good at hiding our tracks?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Melting snow makes it obvious where we...
Yeah!
What the hell is going on over there? Oh, you...
It's good. Walk in the snow like this and you can move quick without melting it.
Melody
Do you not
keeps
even, like, actually physically cast a spell? Does it just start happening?
It does take one action, so I'd be like, this is the path we have to go. If you do it the way I do it, they can't follow us.
Okay. And I'll watch how Haven waddles through the snow and try and emulate that and try and plant my feet in his already placed tracks.
Like a cat.
While he's leading, Melody will fall back to the rear and keep an eye on behind us as we go.
Great, that's just what I always want Melody in the rear. Alright, everyone give me a stealth roll. Bear in mind you're going to have a +10. And this isn't necessarily stealth as in you're trying to hide, it's just exactly as you described, you're trying to like not leave as many tracks.
27.
That's really good.
20, I'll take.
20 is still really good.
I was afraid I was going to roll the worst, but 24.
And because he's technically there...
Here comes with that one.
He's got a +8. Yeah, he's fine. He's great. He's actually the best of all of you.
He was lucky with the character, not with Neil, evidently.
He's a lucky man, but I also am pretty lucky when I take control of the PCs usually. I don't do it very often for that reason. Don't want to give you too much of a chance. Yetis. The Yeti's gonna get their little roll here. Gonna roll it over here, make quite the rat. I don't know what's wrong. I might be having a stroke. I blame the trees. All right.
We should cut them all down.
Yeah, just get rid of all of them. Who even likes trees, right? What's the point? They're all just wood anyway. Got wood everywhere.
I agree.
He likes trees.
So what happens to sorry, I'm entirely broken my own brain. Wow. What the hell is wrong with me? What is happening? So you guys do exactly as that. You travel very carefully for actually an hour, which is, you know, while you're traveling up the mountain is quite easy. And while you're doing that, Melody's keeping track. And actually, at one point, you think you saw the Yetis, and there were two of them, exactly as described, but only very briefly. And they're quite hard to see. It's only when they sort of move and lurch around that you can really tell where they are. It's one of those things where you're almost certain, just in your Melody's sort of primal knowledge, and actually the same for Haven, that you have lost them. They could not keep up with Haven's sudden brilliance.
Huh?
Melody just goes back to the front of the party and starts melting the snow again.
I think I'll look over to Gil and be like, why is she doing that? It's gonna get our pants wet, and then we'll be even more cold.
I'm not quite sure, but it's cute when she does it. And, well, she's got a new toilet, I play with it.
But the Yetis will find us again.
Then we'll do what we just did. You're the one that wants to fight them.
Hey, listen, I can't keep doing that all day, but I'll be more than happy to kill the Yetis.
Can you hear them?
Maybe.
It's kind of hard to tell.
Let's keep going.
So wind's howling pretty fierce.
Yeah, exactly. So you keep traveling. As I said, with the, it's one of those things where I kind of want to make this hard for you guys, but it actually isn't. With a druid and a ranger, climbing a mountain is really no hard task. The actual climbing, the actual traveling, especially considering a lot of this mountain is, what's the best way to describe this?
Sexy.
Traveled. Most of this mountain is traveled, so there are paths that go through it and over it.
We have a word for that too. Sorry.
Occasionally, you have to end up getting out the climber's kit and bits of rope, but not to the extent that you have to do any sort of rolls for. The sort of things that if you were level 1, hell yeah, you'd be having trouble. But you guys at this point, with all the stuff you've gone through, you can climb up a couple of chunks of rope without much issue at all. You camp, you climb, you keep going. It's sort of at this point you're starting to get to the point where the whole objective is to get up the mountain enough to sort of go around it. And you're starting to get to the point where you actually can. You can see this beautiful vista on the other side where, even though it's kind of empty, there is a sort of beauty to looking at the north, the frozen lands. It's just a lot of white. You don't see towns or trees or anything. You just see ice, sort of as far as the eye can see, which may be terrifying, may be exciting. It depends on how adventurous you're feeling, whether you want to explore a brave new world or whether you just don't like it.
You ever get that feeling when it's fresh snow and nobody has disturbed the snow yet? It's just clean, flat snow, and you're the first person to put your footprints in it. I like that feeling.
I've got to say, actually, I haven't really been around that much snow.
Oh, me neither. Just recently.
Snow is dangerous. Need to be careful of it at all times.
Snow usually means I'm not going to run out of something to drink, right?
Oh, I cringe. Sensitive teeth.
Yellow.
I like that Haven already has a concept of yellow snow. Good.
Well, hey, look what I did.
Okay, valid point. So you keep on moving. At this point, it's one of the things you don't need to really go up anymore.
Yeah.
You're going around, and sort of with the route that Melody and Haven are traveling, this hasn't been hard. It's not been clean. It's harder than if you were just walking somewhere, but it's not been anything that really taxes the great Gilwyn Gallagher. Though he's probably still complaining because it's like, oh, my arms are tight. I'm cold.
I'm a little wimp. Let's be honest.
I know.
Honestly, probably taking in the sight because of the fact that it's that big, beautiful open view for like so far out and whatnot. Hence the joke about probably
For
taking
sure.
it in because this is something that you don't see when you live underground.
This isn't something you don't see unless you live up in a mountain. You
Yeah.
know, just being able to see a vast expanse outwards to you. As you keep travel, you pass some trees that find some purchase, not enough to make anything close to a forest, but a little spattering, and you keep going around. Actually, at some point while you're traveling through these sort of much easier areas while you're walking, Gilwyn is the one who notices little shapes in the snow, and you realize they're the little tiny earth elementals that are basically just smooth rocks with faces, and actually a couple of them follow you in the snow, not attacking you, just following you. It's one of the things where Gil, you notice that Vale also notices them, but doesn't connect what they are, and they goes, and they go, and like flop in the snow. So there's just stone back there. It's not, and Vale gets sort of outsmarted by these very basic tiny earth elementals a couple of times.
Can I actually try to procure information from them? Because like we're trying to get there as quickly as possible to the city. They might actually know a path, or at least which path is the safest or fastest.
Yeah, you can attempt to communicate with them.
I speak Terran.
Oh shit.
And I'm really stupid, so they're probably on my talking level.
Yeah. What do you do? Do you crouch? Do you crouch before them? Remember, they're like 4 to 6 inches
I imagine.
tall.
Do I identify them as what they are immediately, or are they foreign to me?
You've probably seen them before. They're called Joro.
Joro, okay. So I mean, I imagine I would just kind of like sit down and scoop one up and like sit there and hold it in my hand and then go to talk to it. Like I'd start speaking to it in Terran, which I imagine sounds like a grind, like kind of a gravelly sound.
It doesn't sound like it should be able to come from his mouth. Mm-hmm. Maybe another part of his body.
Hey-o. It's like one of those cracky knuckles things. So you,
yeah, that's
I would sit
definitely
there
what
just
I
to
meant.
ask it. I would ask it pretty plainly, like, hey, you, which is the safest path or which is the fastest path to where is it? It probably doesn't know what Bastilian is, so I'll just say the north, through the mountains or over the mountains.
It wiggles for a bit, and as it wiggles, it makes a sort of jangling noise. Even though you know it's just a rock, it doesn't make sense to make this sort of noise. And in Terran back, though, the Terran is sort of a little like chimes to the rest of you, though you completely understand it. It's like, cave, little mine, with water. And like, it sort of motions, and the others sort of roll and move and make a little arrow. They actually point.
Finding Nemo.
Yeah, Finding Nemo, that's what I thought.
Make a little point. And actually, it's sort of, it's the way you're going, but like, you actually, Haven, because you know of caves and mines and things, you actually sort of go like, and you can see maybe an hour's walk, and kind of not the way you're planning on going. There is a little sort of divot down into the ground that sort of becomes this little cave.
How deep? How far?
Deep, far.
Okay, fair. Do these things like anything in particular? Like, do they like gold or anything like that?
They
or do
are
they have no earthly
the
desires?
simplest of earth elementals that kind of go beyond being an animal in an elemental sense. You know, they don't have needs, they don't have desires, they just sort of are. So you could give them something and they'd be entertained by it, but they don't really care.
I'd probably try to see if it thinks a shiny gold coin is interesting or not, since it's made out of metal.
If you sort of catch it in the light, and because
you one gold, one silver, yeah.
Yeah, you have brilliant light here because of the sort of vista. It would like go like like a sort of toddler or something patting at something shiny and jingly.
I'll let you keep the toys if you come with us and show us the way through.
Toys first.
Give it the toys.
It takes them, and because it doesn't really have hands, it just kind of and then starts. Just remember that Gilwyn has a dead one of these in his bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No idea.
No, I know. And it starts sort of toddling off, and the others sort of look at it, and it sort of goes like, ah, with the coins in his hand, and they're like, oh. And they sort of come with it like a little band. They start heading that way. Very slowly, because they're tiny. Yeah. Tiny little toddling things.
Great news. I found a cave.
You found a cave?
Mm-hmm.
In what time period between when we met these rock creatures and now did you find a cave?
They're going to show us the cave. It's right there. But we're going to go into it. They're going to show us the way through. It'll be a safer and faster path through the mines of Moria to Bastilian.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
Oh, they told you this mine's called Moria?
I was kind of, cuffing that one.
It's a drow joke. You wouldn't get it.
Yeah.
Okay. I look to Melody and see if she's okay with going through the cave.
Melody just nods.
All right. I guess Haven lead the way if you don't mind.
Sure. I can lead or follow from behind, whichever is easiest for you all. But at least we can stay dry for a while. Dry and warm.
Yeah. Okay.
And then imagine going in. So, I mean, we've all been underground before. How's Vale with underground?
Vale... It's hard to say about Neil being here, but Vale finds it very uncomfortable being underground. He doesn't like the roof above his head being stone, but he doesn't actually talk a lot. He's actually sort of uncharacteristically quiet because of the cold, because of the walking, because of the cave. He actually immediately takes out his bow and strings it. He's just like, I don't feel very safe in here. Forgive me for not believing a bunch of pebbles, but I don't feel safest, and maybe an arrow will make me feel more confident.
Cool. Melody, I'll continue giving you bonus to survival checks.
Yes! Absolutely, Melody, give me a survival roll here. Now, you never get lost, which is great.
Food and water, no problem, too.
Yeah. And that's actually one of those things as you're going. This is, as they described it, it maybe was a mine, but like hundreds of years ago. Maybe longer. So there's not like you go through and find supplies. You find maybe the occasional patches of mushrooms and things that grow that you pluck from, which is great. I mean, you lived underground for a long time. You're very much used to mushrooms and how to cook them, as well as there's actually water here. There's running water that runs downwards. It's running sort of through the cave down. And that's sort of the way the cave is going, which is why it's a shortcut. It's going down and eventually out. And there's occasionally fish and more sort of more sort of like lobstery things than just fish. But like you would be catching like the occasional like I can imagine Haver's the kind of person who would stand by the water for a couple of seconds and just grab a fish.
Spear.
Yeah, spear grabbing. Absolutely. But you do as you travel, not in the way that Vale is just paranoid. You have the very much feeling that you're not alone in this place. And it's not the Joro, who are following around with you, but they're slow, and there's only like a few of them trail off every hour or so. They just sort of stop, or go the other way, or go somewhere else. You know, and there's more of them you occasionally notice. But your sort of like primal senses is the best way to word it. You just know that something else is alive in here, and you feel as if you are the prey of it.
Can we take a break for a little bit? Just a few minutes.
Yeah, sure. Are you okay? What's the matter?
Imagine we've traveled for some time at this point.
Yeah, you're like well and truly inside the cavern. You're in this little area where the water's trickling through. And the water's like almost always trickling through. It's not so much made a little river. It's just sort of like always flowing on the bottom of the cavern.
I just want to get my senses about me. If make sure that we're gonna actually be safe going through, because I mean they're only so smart.
Okay. Yeah, that's no problem.
For no reason at all, where is Gilwyn's token? I had this on my Monday game. Tokens are just getting deleted. And I don't know why.
Oh, yeah.
There's no Gilwyn.
That's alluding to a near future.
What are you on about?
I'm gonna die.
Gilwyn forever. 1,000 years, Gilwyn. Let me read that.
Remembered forevermore in the books that he wrote about daddy issues.
Hey, he's going to be remembered forever in song.
Uh-huh.
One song.
No, there's multiple songs.
Yeah, but he's only mentioned in one of them, and no one knows he wrote it.
There's multiple songs. You just haven't been to fine establishments recently.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
I went to a budget fund establishment recently. I was with his dad.
That's true.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy.
He's a great guy. Primeval awareness. I did leave it down. 1 minute in concentration, which is absolutely fine. Absolutely. In fact, you realize that it's in the chamber right now.
I want to be clear. My favorite enemy is monstrosity.
Ooh, I didn't know it was only for favorite enemies.
It says by spending concentration, you can sense whether or not your favorite enemies are present within 5 miles of you.
You're more or less, you sense something is in the room with you right now. You're in sort
this
of
feature reveals which of your favorite enemies are present, their numbers, and the creature's general direction and distance from you. So it's like,
Jesus,
too much info.
It's a lot. It's sort of like you close your senses and you listen, and you hear the monster in the, but it's like right there.
Okay.
In fact, why don't
guys?
I show you?
Oh, go on then.
Oh, go on
we're
then.
Not alone. We're not alone. Melody.
Melody assumes battle
shines
starts. Shield on.
There we go. In theory, this should work. Oh, I did the whole sort of horror movie pan. Yeah, let's do a horror movie. Here's Haven. What's he seeing? In the darkness is a thing. And it's one of those things where you've lived in the Underdark for a long time, Haven. You are actually already aware of creatures that pretend to be rock, that pretend to be stalactites or stalagmites. I don't remember which one is which. And this is one of those things. And actually, if it wasn't for your trained senses, you wouldn't be able to tell that there isn't this pile of rock in the middle of that water. But no, you start to notice that there's sort of, where you thought maybe there were cracks in the rock, there's a little mucus sliding out, and maybe you see a little hint of a fang, and some of those sort of almost look like fallen fungal growths are tendrils. This is a situation where I'm actually going to roll initiative. We're going to roll initiative, but you're going to have a surprise round where you can get everyone's attention and things.
Sure.
Because it's sort of one of those things when you realize it realizes you, or maybe it already did realize you, and it's sort of when you go into action, it goes into action. You know how it is.
Yeah. I'm used to springing on things.
Like... Exactly.
Can we say that I would have had my light on? Since I would be basically blind in here without it.
Yes, you would have your light on. Let me actually just give you the light. Let me just give you, what is it, 40, 20?
20 bright, 20 dim.
Yeah. What?
I can see clearly now the nipples of light.
Ugh, can you not say that? This is a family-friendly stream, you fuck.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
That's the joke.
Wait till we accidentally have that nipple fall into like the soup we make, and everyone eats it. And we all get
Or just accidentally.
That's the ultimate prank at the end. Go ahead and everyone roll me initiative. Even if it's one of those things where Haven's getting your attention, as you know, that's sort of your initiative and stuff.
Oh,
Gilwyn.
Haven's
absolutely going to get a
wow,
spook round, as I like to call them.
Spending luck.
Good idea. Great idea, actually. Amazing idea. Did I accidentally make this monster part of the background? I did. They were so well disguised. They were in the background.
Can I spend Gil's luck as well?
No! It's not how it works. Melody is always so slow. You just roll the worst initiatives like ever, and I don't know how.
It doesn't matter. She's like a fucking tank, right?
No,
she gets there
like
slowly,
fine.
but then fucks shit up. She takes all the hits, doesn't go down.
Yeah, that's just because Ollie only ever targets me. He knocks me
Really?
unconscious
It's
on
not
Monday
because
games
you're
as
the
well.
one who, the only face of the part, the only tank. No, that's not why. Try and make it seem like I'm targeting you unfavorably.
Ollie always targets me with all of my characters.
All right, Haven, you get your surprise round as you see it and you sort of get everyone's attention. Of course, talking is free, but what do you say and or do? I know you said that we're not alone, but
What is it? Because it tells me what type it is.
It is a roper.
Roper. All right, I go.
Of course, you know, Scott.
Yeah. I'm gonna say. So I said we're not alone. I'm like, keep your distance, and then I charge in.
I totally forgot that Vale is here. Shit, he got a good roll too. And we're gonna go do one quick round of initiative, and then take a break. So go ahead and run in, Haven.
Ollie, quick question: does it have dark vision?
Yes. So it can't
Cool.
see you.
Yeah. So I mean, it'll recognize what's in, but I'm gonna come rushing in. So, where am I?
Yeah,
5,
I always
10,
imagine it's
15,
sort of like a
20,
night elf
25,
thing where you're invisible until you
30,
do something to make yourself visible.
35. So that's good to attack. How deep is that pool? Can I stand in it?
Difficult terrain.
Oh, that's fine. I ignore that, I believe. So either way, I
Yeah,
have the
you
extra
do.
5 feet to spend on it. So
Yeah, it would be
go
going up
there.
to your waist at least.
Okay, I'll make my first attack, which
So
is
it's one salny of height.
making sure there's nothing wrong.
Stalagmite. Okay. Cool. It's a stalagmite. That
It's a
is-
surprise round. I don't know if I get anything extra for.
You...
Oh wait, hold on. You.
You have
Where is
advantages
it?
on people who haven't taken their turns yet, right?
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I
Yeah.
just couldn't find it.
I think you just have that. You just have that because.
Cool.
So go ahead and
I
re-roll
the
it.
correct way.
Just a minor error king. No,
All
it's,
right,
it's
wow.
okay. Apparently you're not allowed to hit, but that's okay because that was just a surprise round anyway, right?
Oh,
you've got
just
Modi
one attack?
No, you have Modi attack. Of course you do.
Okay, cool. Second attack is going to be a hit, I assume.
That is a hit. Yes. Tough armor on these buggers.
8 piercing, to be
Yeah.
clear.
So he goes, we're not alone, keep your distance, and charges in and like stabs at a bunch of rock, and you're like, what is he doing? But you're kind of smart enough to know, okay, something's up and get your weapons ready. And then when he gets that like a couple of limp jabs, and he gets that in finally, a large eye opens in the center of this pile of rocks and goes, and you're like, oh, okay, that's yeah. As like tendrils start to rise out of the water and stuff. Yeah, why is it pole arm? What's up?
Oh,
with that?
sorry. That was the wrong. I meant to press the one above it. That one
It
goes.
doesn't explain why it's weirdly.
I can explain that. Hold on, wait a second. That was one because my bonus action extra attack is with the pull of the pole arm.
Okay.
So I'll do that one, then I'll do my last attack in a second because this is with less damage. See? So
didn't
5
hit.
bludgeoning, and then I'll do my last attack, my third
hit,
attack.
no,
So it's
so-
1, 2, 3 attacks. My fourth attack. Here we go. Trying to get 1 round. Hit.
Yep.
All right.
That first turn
all
of damage,
day.
super sweet.
18 piercing and 5 bludgeoning all day.
Bludgeoning didn't hit.
Okay. Do I recognize like was worthless?
No, it just it's got a very tough. It's got a stone hide.
Oh, the 17 didn't hit.
17 didn't hit.
Ooh.
Not the bludgeoning didn't hit.
I'll call back and say it's a tough bastard.
Yeah. And after that is Vale, who's like, I knew there's always something living in caves, and like knocks an arrow, and I have to do some like sweet DM jujitsu to get everything like working properly here. Is not how I normally do, and he has a bunch of things on his page because he keeps it very well, very neat. Longbow, there we go. No, that's just a big old dang old miss. I don't know if he has multi-attack. I don't think he does. Because he's a swashbuckler? If he has, he doesn't write it down. If you don't write it down, I don't know it. So he just misses. He's just like, shit.
Isn't Swashbuckler a type of fighter?
A type of rogue.
Oh, then no. Only one attack.
Which makes sense, because he does a ton of damage. Going.
Yeah. Well, I actually can't even see Haven anymore, so I'm just hearing.
He's gone into
"Oh,
the
it's big."
darkness. Yeah, you just hear what you would hear more on that is just the blade of his pike just going against the rock multiple times. Occasionally, it sounds more like it hits its purchase than not.
Okay, so I will.
At least one time you hear a.
And I will inspire Haven,
I don't know. Whoa.
and I will say, "We'll stay back. You go forwards, you brave idiot." You're inspired.
Thank you.
Great.
I need it.
Yeah.
Actually, no, never mind. Strike that.
What? No, I need it.
No. I meant strike what I was about to
Yeah,
actually.
he was gonna do something else.
Okay, need it.
Great. Great. So, it is of course going to attack Haven with its tendrils. What do you think? Now I will warn you, one of the dice in my beautiful velvet dice box has been rolling very well this week. Now I do not remember which one, but one of them nearly killed Ian on Monday. So
it absolutely murdered us on Monday, that die.
what's your AC, Mr. Scott?
1 second.
It might be different.
This is a monstrosity.
This is a monstrosity. I actually was about to be like, oh, I fucked up. It's an aberration, but it is a monstrosity.
Yeah, my bludgeoning attack would have been a 19, not a 17, because you gain +2 bonus to oh no, it's damage rolls. Never mind, 4 extra damage. Same.
Oh, I can easily end the 4 extra damage.
You have yet another class feature that just makes you ridiculously overpowered.
This is this is another Haven concept situation. But do you have what's your AC, and is it better against monstrosities for some reason?
No, and 16.
Well, I rolled a 16, and he has a nice big number on top of it.
I get hurt.
You get hurt. I don't even have that many D8s with me. Let me get
Well,
some
actually,
My next.
I have-
favorite. Go ahead.
Actually, I have advantage on anything that looks like an ice cream cone. So
It does kind of look like an upside down ice cream cone.
My next favorite enemy, I get bonuses against their powers.
Yes.
Yeah,
Don't
but
know
it gets
what it
more
is yet.
specific with each degree of Haven enemy.
The damage you get is a 15 piercing damage as the no, wrong attack. There's multiple. You're lucky. There's like these long tendrils that are sort of rising out of the water, and you actually see it sort of lift up a little bit, and actually like crab-like legs. One tendril just completely wraps around Haven, and Haven is grappled. Then he.
Do I get a post roll?
You literally don't.
I know.
please don't die.
Then you would take the 15 piercing damage.
So 15 total.
He's got another attack.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, I know, right? It's crazy.
Look at all those berserker eyes.
I very rarely go this crazy. And then it hits again, because it only hit you because you were in the grapple. So it like pulls you in as this large mouth. Yeah. We have fun here. And that would be actually 15 piercing damage again, because it's 11 plus 4. What a coincidence!
No!
What a coincidence.
Tune in next week for Scott making a new character.
And the tendril I will add is like this thick corded tendril, like at least 7 inches across, is like wrapped around his body. After that is Haven. It's your turn. You can attempt to escape it. You can use your main action to strength athletics out, I think.
Can I also technically attack it too?
You can attack it, you have disadvantage because you're sort of in it, but I do allow people who are grappled to attempt to attack the person that's grappling them. I don't think that's a standard rule, but it's just one of those ones that like...
Yeah, because I have multiple attacks. I think I can technically use one of my attacks as it turns as an attempt to get away. So...
I don't...
Is it an action or an
It's
attack?
an action to try and break out, not an attack to try and break out.
No, I'm pretty sure it's an attack to try to break out of a grapple. Pretty sure.
You know what? I actually have a quick guide somewhere for that.
Yeah.
That's
I will
also the
roll
rules.
either way, and you let me know. It's athletics, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just whether you do it at the beginning or the end. Yeah, it is athletics to jump out. Somewhere I have a quick guide, and it has all the
terrible
things
roll.
written.
I don't even want to use my inspiration because it's awful. But like, I only have 13 health left, so I have to. D8, Dean.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yay!
Oh, y'all are sweet.
Not good enough. Still grapple.
It doesn't say. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's an action. But if you look that up during the break and it turns out the other way, that's fine. But you do break free. Stamp.
I'm breaking free.
Breaking wind. So you still have your movement, but I don't imagine you want to move. Or maybe you do want to just sprint away.
Sorry, I was reading. I will sprint away, and I believe you are correct, Ollie.
Oh, do you even offer opportunity attacks?
I do, yeah.
Okay, great.
If I move, I do.
Great.
So.
Thanks for that.
No, it's fine. Hold on, give me 1 second. Use a bonus action to make a melee attack with the opposite end of a polearm.
Oh yeah, you do absolutely still have your bonus action. And is it one of those things like dual wielding where you have to do an attack first, or can you just start off with your?
I'm seeing if I hit the creature. When you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, creatures provoke attack of opportunity. Yeah, I have nothing that can stop it from making opportunity attacks. Fuck. I'm stuck here because if I move away, bad things will happen. So it'll just go, get back in here. So I'm going to stay here and go like this. One, two. No. Yeah, I'll do that.
Great. After that is Melody, who is all the way over here.
Open it up for you guys.
Yeah.
I can't actually see that thing. I don't really want to use a dark vision on this.
You could see through Gilwyn's aura of light. It just doesn't quite get to him. But I will say, even though you can't see the creature, you can see that it's got these large tendrils.
Yeah.
That are sort of encompassing the whole area and stuff.
Okay. Let's throw out a conjured animal. Just to make Ollie's day.
You know what? We're going to go to break. I'm going to deal with this after the break. Because that's a whole thing. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break and then we're going to do this combat after that, isn't that? Whew, you're coming up with all these ideas for D&D nowadays.